Anything with Steven Seagal? You want to tell our audience what your favorite pastime is besides playing Call of Duty? Or is that too personal?
I like watching videos when people make fun of Steven Seagal
And
and his movies.
So funny.
It's fucking hilarious. Well, because it's easy. It's a low-hanging fruit. All of his movies are shit. Like, it's like produced poorly, and it's just like the quality.
Hey. We don't have money to get sued right now. Allegedly.
Well, fuck you, Steven Seagal.
Alright, welcome back, you guys, to the Wide Open Throttle podcast. With you today, your host, Coy, and the co-host for today, myself, Stephanie. So this isn't a usual occurrence. Seems like our podcasts are going to be random. We just decided today while we were taking a shower, hey, you know, we're talking pretty deep. So today's episode is going to be about some deep digging that we're gonna have. I hope you guys don't mind our dogs. I haven't been home all day, so they're kind of not leaving me alone. I don't know if Koi's ever introduced to you, but or Corgi, Ivy. We like to call her Ivy of Korg. If you are a Star Trek fan, Ivy or Locutus of Korg. Sorry.
My goodness.
And then our big aloof here, Worf, he, again, Star Trek. Yeah. I have nothing else to say about that.
Lieutenant Worf,
yes. So today's podcast, we're basically going to be rambling about, seems like this is going to be a little bit different than what I think you guys are used to. I think Koi does a lot of, gaming and friend podcast, and I think we released a podcast last year during the Christmas season time, and it's been, I've been going to school, going to work, trying to work out, so I've been very busy. But today I was like, you know what the heck, let's do this. So we were what we're gonna try today, we've been trying to do this thing where we try drinks from our local store.
Yeah, we're gonna continue that trend from the first podcast.
The first podcast, I think we tried a kombucha.
It was not satisfactory.
Here's the thing with that. I don't like wasting things. I don't like wasting food, and I hate buying something that I'm not going to finish. So it's gonna be a challenge for me. But yeah, I'm gonna have to finish all the drinks we get, even if I don't like it. Did you get the ginger beer?
No, we're gonna try this Wondermelon first.
I think a lot of you guys have tried it. I mean, it's nothing new. The reason why this man right here picked it was because it was quote unquote cute.
Wait, there's cayenne in this? Is this supposed to be spicy?
You bought the wrong one.
Watermelon, lemon, cayenne. What do you have?
Here, show the camera.
Watermelon, cucumber, basil. Fuck, I did get the wrong one. I just grabbed it off the shelf, assuming that they were all the same thing.
Well, I think that's gonna be like, tahine, tahine, that we like eating it with our sandia or watermelon. So maybe it's like that.
Okay, so this one here is watermelon, lemon and cayenne. And then this one is
cucumber, basil.
Watermelon, cucumber, and basil. I think you're more of a basil person anyways, cucumber.
The only thing is, though, I have a trigger with cucumber.
But you're Mexican, so you should like cayenne and spicy things, right?
Yeah, we'll try it. What we're going to do is we're going to try it, and then we will switch off to see how it tastes. And then we either keep the same drink that we like, or we trade off, or usually he's the bigger person, so he takes the nasty drinks and I get the tastier drinks. But yeah, do you want to do that now? Yeah, but
according to Steph, I'm a food vacuum, so I just eat and drink everything.
Yeah, you don't eat leftovers.
All right, but look at this. It says, what makes watermelon taste so good? Answer: we wish we knew, but it does. All right, it's Captain Obvious. Next question: why does watermelon have more lycopene than tomatoes? Ooh. Answer: weird, right? Who the fuck wrote this? And then the next question: where can you find the watermelon all year long? Hint: Look at the bottle.
Product of turkey.
How did we get the watermelon into a bottle? Answer, we'll never tell.
Product of Turkey, so that means they manufacture it in Turkey, but it's transported to New Jersey for marketing.
Yeah.
I took this anthropology class, and in that anthropology class, they made us, anyways, for some reason, I feel like I know where everything comes from, where everything's manufactured, produced, so, yeah, I don't know.
It's cold pressed, though, so let's see.
Ooh.
It doesn't smell spicy.
It tastes like one of those juice cleanses.
Tastes like you can taste smells?
It smells like one of those juice cleanses.
It smells like cucumber.
Okay, let's go.
It's wonderful, but it does have a kick to it.
Okay, let's try.
It does Oh yeah, definitely
Let me
spicy.
See. Let's try. Let's try. Let's try. Ooh, I like this.
Yeah,
I like this.
So again, I'm stuck with the worst of the two.
You like that one better?
No, I like that one better. Because it's spicy.
Here.
No, but it's fine. It's fine. I'll drink this one. It's cool.
It's not cool, but.
Anyways, so while we sip on this, what kind of tea do you have to talk about?
It's not really. Well, there's a lot of tea, but what kind of tea do you want? You want the dirty tea? You want the sugar honey iced tea?
I don't know what she's talking about.
Anyways, so no, we were just so we were in the shower today, and we were just thinking like, I don't know if you guys ever experienced that, but I think that we are at a part of our life where I think, now again, this is my individual thinking, it's not a group thinking, but I think that we've grown we've grown in our spiritual thinking, our values, and just, kind of taking a step back and seeing kind of like the world around us and the world that evolves us. For example, we've I feel that we've gone through a lot of hardships in our life together as couples and as well as, individuals, and I just think, we were just thinking like, and it's crazy because I've never been a spiritual person. We both were pretty much atheists, and my catalyst of my thoughts and my thinking started, and I know this sounds so crazy, when we watched that movie Constantine, because then it makes it's kind of like reading books, seeing certain movies or certain shows where you kind of like think like, oh my gosh, like, is there heaven, is there hell, is there guardian angels, and I've always told you this, and you and our friends always give me shit about this, but I feel like I've always have somebody like near, like around me, and it's not necessarily in a bad way, like a negative or evil force. I always feel like there's just somebody always near me. And first of all, you guys are assholes for saying that his name was Daquan, and that for some reason, like, if you see me talking, I'm talking to Daquan. Like, that's like the dumb. But so long story short, we've been kind of been going through it, with the house, with getting it together. When we first, decided to go in on the house, we were like, oh yeah, we're gonna get everything done and everything's gonna work out, and it's gonna be like, everything that we wish. And then 2 years later, we're now just getting the backyard done, and you know, it things happened and we couldn't get it done the way that we wanted to, but slowly but surely things have happened. And again, I go back to that thinking of mine that, you know, that everything that is meant to happen to a person is going to happen, and positive things will come
And
from it if you work hard at it, but also you do things on a positive note, like working, like, right now I don't want to say too much because I don't know who's going to see this, but I'm kind of, looking for better opportunities right now. I'm hopeful for that application that I submitted that's still in the queue. So, there's a I'm being very hopeful that, I've worked so hard to be where I'm at right now that other people will notice, and hopefully I can be where I want to be in my career. And there's times where I've cried and I've called you and I'm like, I'm so frustrated, like, there's just so much going on, and it, and I feel that, when I was calling and crying about that, but what was I really doing about it? You know? What, and again, karma, what is the good that I'm putting out that I'm gonna get back in return, right? And what I've started doing, I'm going back to school. I'm getting, I definitely want to get a higher level of education, so I'm going to school. I advocating for the people that I work for and work with. So I'm doing that, and I'm just kind of turning my life around in a positive note. I've been going to the gym early in the morning, waking up at 5 a.m. and going to school. So yeah, I think so yeah, that's pretty much this podcast is talking about how we're feeling, and just.
I think when she says that things happened in the past about the garden thing, it was mainly my fuck up. So I
And
just
I want to
I'm gonna
add
I'm gonna put this experience out there so other of you don't make the same mistake.
homeowners, new,
Don't
yeah.
make the same mistake as I did. When we first got some quotes for the backyard, I was shopping around looking for other contractors and whatnot, and everyone was quoting us a super ridiculously high quote. So one day I found a business card on my door, and it says just the name. His name is Sam, and his phone number, and it says
Yeah, put
landscaping.
his name out there.
Yeah, don't
Put the business
if you get a
out
business
there.
card from some dude named Sam in the Roseville area or
Roseville,
Sacramento,
Sacramento, Northern
don't fucking do it.
California.
Don't do it. The worst contractor ever. He came by and he quoted me half of what everybody else did. I was like, all right, cool. This sounds amazing. So I was like, yeah, when can you start? He came by the next day and then, brought his crew, and then they started digging up the backyard. And 2 days into it, he was like, yeah, we need the funding. We need the money now so we can pay our crew, pay for the supplies and whatnot. And I was like, whatever. I didn't think two things about it. And so I gave him money in cash. And then the next two
And
days,
I want to just
he
add,
never came by to finish the job.
I do want to add, and this is what kind of triggers me, is that when you first buy a house, all your money, all your savings go into getting that
Because
house.
you're already house broke when you first get a house.
And
Yeah.
and the thing is, and the thing that kind of makes us feel better is that a lot of people, they get help from family and friends, which, we wish we had, but this house we got on our own. We saved up for it. We can probably say that, we didn't have to ask for anything. We didn't have to. So the fact, and mind you, yes, we were very house broke. So we thought, like, you know what, we're gonna trust it. And I think your thinking was, you know what, I'm gonna trust these people. Like, I'm gonna give, because you like to give people the benefit of the doubt. And I think you were like, you know what,
I am very trusting. Yeah.
you're
And
like, you know what, I'm
it
gonna
bit me
do
in the
it.
ass for it.
And I remember you told me, I think you knew that they weren't gonna come back.
So, and then, so after that, they didn't come by to finish the job. So, like the trenches on the side that they never put in the drain, and that was left dug up. So when it rains, it's just like a river of fucking mud back there. And of course, we have two dogs, so they run around the backyard. They're tracking all this mud and all this like debris everywhere, and it just looks shitty and ugly. So, and that's what we're yeah, so in the future, if you're trying to do any sort of contracting work, just don't trust anybody. Make sure that they're licensed, they're bonded, and make sure you
You
have a
give only like a
contract.
third of the money first and
Yeah,
then a second in the middle, or
yeah, and don't give them all the money up front because they're gonna pull this bullshit on you.
yeah,
I'm not saying everybody would do this, but just from our experience, it just happened. So
and it's just like it just kind of sucks because it feels like nice people never win. Like we were giving them the benefit of the doubt, like and this shit happens, and we've been kind of struggling with it because it's like personally, I don't like hosting people if I feel like our house isn't ready, and I feel like our house hasn't been ready in over 2 years, and it sucks because I want to barbecue outside, I want to go outside, I want to paint outside, I want to be outside, and I don't want to be in our backyard right now. And it sucks cuz I like gardening. I haven't gardened into, I want to grow my own garden. I want my dogs to be out there, and I don't want to have to every time it rains, we have to like lay down shit in our living room so they don't track mud in the house. And it's just, and then it's kind of things like that where like, you know,
what year is this? Oh, 2023.
23.
Okay, good. We're good.
Okay. So yeah, that's kind of like where we've been at. But then, and I was telling him earlier today, like all these things that we've gone through, like we've always figured a way out and we've always figured out a solution. And I think that's just life. Life gives
And
you a shitty hand. You figure out a solution and you work towards it, and it's
to
not.
piggyback off of that, like we were scared shitless when we went at this house.
Mhm.
We didn't know how we're gonna afford it, or
No.
like it's gonna be extra than what we were paying for the apartment, obviously. So we have to factor in how we're gonna have food, how we're
And
gonna
then
have
like
gas,
the property
um,
taxes, like people don't tell
property
you until you sign
taxes,
your loan, like do you want to pay your property tax at the end of the year, do you want to factor it into your mortgage, the interest rates, what you qualify for,
insurance.
insurance, and
So and it's like we took a leap
a
of
faith.
faith,
Yeah.
and here we are, almost 2 years later. In
Mm.
the next couple months is gonna be 2 years anniversary. So
Yeah.
yeah, we made it work. So, and if you're a possible home buyer, or you're shopping around right now, I would say just do it, man. Like, just see, like, of course, live within reason. Don't buy like an
Mm-hmm.
extra super extravagant house where you can't really afford it. But if you
Mm-hmm.
can, if it's like more than what you're paying right now, a house is definitely worth it than living in an apartment,
Yeah.
because it is an investment in yourself.
Or even like if you're I know some people have the opportunity to kind of buy out the apartment, like mortgage or at least do that. I mean, definitely just find a secure
Yeah,
pay
just
place for
make sure you're paying
yourself.
yourself. Like,
um
have a real estate that's under your name. So
yeah. But to kind of go off on that, and again, I definitely believe like if you put the work in it and you have good faith and you believe, if you do things the right way with good intention, good things are going to come back to you. I definitely agree on that. I mean, you know whether I believe in a god or not, or whatever the case may be, that's kind of my own personal beliefs. But I definitely think you just have to, if you want something, you just gotta work for it. And okay, and then with that being said, with the things that life throws you, sometimes we can deal with a lot of I don't want to say depression, because like my corporate consultant says, you never want to diagnose someone, because depression is a diagnosis, but you want to say extreme sadness, hopelessness. So uh
failure to thrive.
no, you can't even diagnose that either. But we find ourselves with hopelessness, sadness, anxiousness, restlessness, and it seems
Because
like
life is tough,
life is very tough, and sometimes we have to find an outlet, and you know
or a good coping mechanism.
good coping mechanism, good family support. It's so crazy, and I just sometimes when I drive, sometimes I'm one of those, like, I don't want to say psychopaths, but I'm one of those people where sometimes I like to drive without music, no nothing, drive to my destination and just think about like life and everything. And I was just thinking that, it's so crazy when I was younger, way younger, you know, I wasn't very close with my parents or with my mom, and um, I didn't want to. I don't want to say hated my parents, but I always like, oh, like I can't wait till I'm older and I move out, and I don't gotta deal with them and all that stuff. And it's crazy because now, like, and again, talking about mental illness, it's like you definitely need those positive people in your life that are going to be, doing the things that you want to do or at least look up to. Like my mom, I am happy to say that she is one of my friends. I don't want to say best friends because mom, you're not my best friend, but she's one of my good. I can call my mom a friend, and with that being said, definitely have that support to kind of think about the things that are going wrong in my life and kind of talk about the things that are going good and kind of move from that. What do you think?
I don't have a mental illness. I don't know.
Oh my god. Okay. Do you not want to talk about it then?
No, I was just joking. Yeah, I would agree. It's always good to have an outlet or a person
Mhm.
that knows you or understands you to so you can offload that burden that you're carrying with you, whether it be something super simple like if I'm not feeling good today and I have a headache, um, I can talk to my wife about it and be like, okay, she's like, okay, did you drink enough water? Did you take your headache, like Excedrin or something?
Like I was saying, it definitely helps having that good support, and it makes me I've just been doing a lot of self-reflection lately. I think that has been going on with me. I've been self-reflecting a lot on things that have happened in the past and thought about like, oh my gosh, like if I would have hung around the same people or if I would have been in the same position that I was at like 10, 12 years ago, like I probably wouldn't be in this position. Um, and it makes me appreciate things a little bit more. And it's kind of like to the audience, there's always going to be shit that life throws at you, but you have to kind of self reflect of where you were in the past and where you are right now. And if you don't like where you are right now, then maybe what you need to do is change what you've been doing. You know what I mean? I've been doing a lot of like, I think my biggest thing, and we didn't talk about our New Year's resolutions either. We were supposed to do a podcast on New Year's resolutions, and we didn't get around to it. Um, but one of my New Year's resolution was to start working out, losing weight, and all this healthy stuff. And I was kind of complacent, and out of nowhere, I just like again start reflecting of what I've been doing right and what I've been doing wrong, and kind of like obviously what I was doing a couple months ago wasn't working, and so I'm kind of like again changing my habits, changing what I'm doing. So I am, waking up I'm trying to wake up every day by 5:30 to 6 o'clock, getting at the gym by 7, getting my 1 hour workout. 1 hour and a half gives me time to drive to work, change to work, and continue with my day. Um, Eating better, just making sure that I'm eating enough. But when I'm eating enough, I'm getting enough to protein, carbs, and fats. So, um, and with that being said, and I think you can add to this, I'm a happier person when I work out.
Oh yeah, it releases endorphins.
Like,
So,
and I think you notice a difference, like when I'm working out, when I'm not working out. Like, you can tell if I haven't worked out for the day, or can you?
hmm well, you seem to be a little more upbeat and happy when you come home and everything. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it definitely helps. Maybe this can be my own little podcast if you guys are interested, where I kind of just talk about what my lifestyle routine. I mean, I'm not gonna do one of those things where like I put the camera in my bed and I'm gonna act like I woke up in the morning and I didn't know if the camera was there. Have you ever seen those videos? were like get ready with me, and like they put the camera and like by the bed, and then
I don't watch TikTok or
it's
Instagram.
not an Instagram. There's different videos on YouTube and podcasts where you see. Anyways, long story short, if you guys are interested, let me know. Kind of lifestyle. I'm kind of again doing a whole 180. And I have a good support system. I'll probably give you guys some more information, but there's some people. There's a trainer, personal trainer, that I went to high school with. He was a couple years older, my senior, but um, he's a personal trainer, so he does personal training and kind of group chats and all that stuff. So I'm kind of doing that, and again going to the gym every day, eating healthier, modifying my choices, and it definitely helps with my
Mhm.
mood. Because remember when I kept telling you like, oh, I can't wake up in the morning for some reason, I keep wanting to wake up and I can't wake up, and I was, mind you, I was going to work late. My work starts at 9 a.m. I have to be at my desk by 9 a.m. I was going to work like 9:10, 9:05, 9:13, 9:20, almost every single day. And I was like, dang, like I need to get my shit together. Like I needed to get my shit together. And you know what? One day I just went to bed hella early and um woke up at 5:30, and I was like, you know what, Steph, you're going to the gym. You're going to the gym today. And ever since then, it's been 2 weeks that I've consistently gone to the gym early in the morning before work. Um, so that's kind of like what I meant to say. Like, do something different that you weren't doing before. So I was on a straight path and nothing was changing, just brick over brick and just self doubt and all this stuff, and just changed my path, what I was doing, and kind of go from there. What are some things that you're doing, babe, to kind of change, if you've done anything, or any New Year resolution or anything that you've focused on yourself, that have you done any self reflection lately or anything like that?
Well, yeah. I mean, part of it is like uh, I want to say it's like anytime when you spend time doing nothing, it's kind of like wasted time. So, and part
And
of
your
it.
dad always says that. Your dad always says that. Your dad says, and let me tell you,
How do you know things that my dad say?
because I talk to your dad on some deeper levels than you sometimes don't know.
Because I just don't talk.
But yeah, I'm if you can't tell, and if you guys are annoyed that I'm taking over this podcast, I am sorry, but I like to talk, okay? I love to talk. Anyways, your dad has told me, and um it's just one of the ways that he thinks, um you waste, I forgot how he says this, but he says like you gain more, no, you lose more if you don't work on something, um than if you wouldn't have worked on something. How does it go? He's he says he says something about like the day keeps going by, and the hours just keep on going. There's no time, stop watch, or nothing stops time. So if you don't work on something that you want to work on now, then you're going to be sitting in the same position on the same
Hmm.
date, on the same hour, the next year, thinking about, you know what, last year I didn't do it, maybe this year I'll do it. And guess what? You don't change what you're doing, you don't do what you need to do. Again, you'll be in the same position, the same time, the same date, just a different year, and a whole nother year goes by.
Yeah.
And to sum up what he says, I know he says it better and things like that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so my point is that you have to keep finding ways to better yourself.
Hmm.
So, we're going to school to better our education, and I just picked up another part-time job just to gain some experience.
And to
So,
get that garden done.
and to get that garden done, adulting.
Adulting.
So yeah, it's just if you sit there and you just sleep, that's the time when you can be spending learning new
Hmm.
uh, skill or like a new knowledge on something
Or bettering
or
yourself.
bettering yourself. So it's like, and
Because
that's why, like, I like to go to the gym. I don't enjoy going to school, but I do it because it's beneficial. And also on top of that too, I work. So it's like you can't make excuses for yourself by not having enough time.
There's so much.
There is enough time if your heart is in it and if you have to do the
Mhm.
things that you have to do. So two of those things I really don't enjoy doing, which is work and school, but I do them because it's beneficial for me and my family.
Mhm.
And I find time to do them, and then hey, I make it work. And I still, of those three, I still have my personal time, which I play Call of Duty. So it's like I don't feel like a piece of shit if I just sit and play Call of Duty for a little bit, because I know that I have an education, I have a good job, and I'm working to better have a better physical body. So I have an excuse to sit there and play Call of Duty, or I have an excuse to just sit there and take a nap, because there's other aspect of my life that I've already fulfilled. That fourth portion of it, I can just spend doing whatever the fuck I want to do. And other times too, people would just play Call of Duty all day and not have an education, not have a job. Then that becomes an issue. But so it's like, yeah, I've earned my right to do some of those
Mhm.
things, cough cough stuff. Then I can play Call of Duty, and
And you know what? I do give you that. I used to give you so much shit about playing Call of Duty, but you know what's so crazy is that you used to, and I used to get mad at you all the time for this, but you used to tell me like when I would complain about my weight and this and that, you're like, well, what are you doing about it? And I'll get so mad. I'm like, what the hell you mean? What am I doing about it? I don't have time. That was my biggest excuse. With what time? With what time? With what time? And um, and I think that the reason why I would get mad at you that you were playing Call of Duty was because you, and I think you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you felt that you've done everything throughout the day, or everything that you've done to feel accomplished with your day, versus where I did not feel accomplished. I felt like I feel that I had so much time on my hands that I would be like, "Hey, like, what are you doing playing Call of Duty? Like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?" And now it's like, I have a lot to do. I have to
mhm,
study when I get an opportunity, because I go to school 2 times and it's a hard class that I'm taking, and I want to get an A. So I have a lot of expectations with that, but I'm working out in the morning, so I'm not going to bed super late, because I try to go to bed at a reasonable time, but when I don't, I wake up. I Instead of staying in bed sleeping for 3 hours before I go to work, I wake up at 5:30. I get ready. I make my lunch. I make sure the dogs are fed. They've gone to the restroom, and go to the gym for an hour and a half. Go to work and start my day. And even if you play Call of Duty, and even if I'm not studying for a test or whatever the case may be, I feel accomplished also. So you know what, babe? You go play your Call of Duty. I'm gonna
mhm.
play my Harry Potter. I'm gonna go read a book, or I'm gonna go on a walk or on a run. So
Yeah. And look at that. This podcast is turning into a motivational video. Well, I mean, it's the
we're
thing.
just talking.
If
We're
if
just talking for
if it's worth
entertainment.
it to you, do it. And if
Mm-hmm.
it feels like it can better you now and in the future, do it, because it's definitely worth it. Because investing in yourself and your family is definitely gonna be it's gonna pay off. So don't hesitate. Just go get a gym membership somewhere. Fuck it. If you have to go to Planet Fitness for $10 a month, do it.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Our
So
gym's opening up soon.
yeah.
I'm so excited. I don't know though. I kind of like our gym though, because you're just there to work out. Everybody's there to work out, and you kind of, you know what I mean.
hmm
And it's cheap, so
Yeah. Well, they raised the price. We got grandfathered in because we signed up a long time ago.
I don't know. I kind of like our gym.
So, but it is far though. So I think it's probably worth it to have a gym that's down the street, that's a little bit more commercialized, but it's better than maybe driving like 20 minutes to get to a
10,
gym. It is. How do you get there in 10 minutes?
10 minutes. If I leave like at 6.
Well, maybe in the morning when there's no traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
10
But
minutes.
what time that I go, it takes about like 18 minutes.
And it's good because it's on the way to work, so it's 10 minutes there, and then I leave and I go straight down and yeah, whatever. You don't need to go to work, but yeah. Anyway, so but I do want to talk about this. So worst here. This is kind of off topic of what we were talking about, but I saw you watching a video yesterday regarding Tasha Yard's death, and this is okay. I wanted to talk about this for a long time. Worst deaths in movies, TV shows, um, something about like having and a lot of you may not know because this is Star Trek related, but I think the worst death in the history of time has been Lieutenant Yard's death in Star Trek. This is the first season. I forgot what episode. It was one of the dumbest seasons. I am so sorry. Creators of The Next Generation. You kill a person by a blob, a tar. Like a tar, not even a blob, a tar pit.
Yeah.
A tar pit. And boom, she died. That's it. Normal Tasha Yard. And I don't remember, and you know what? I need to watch that episode again because I don't even know. It was an entity, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That tar pit was an entity?
Yeah, and it just touched her, and then she died.
And boom, she died.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, that was the worst.
They needed a way to end her.
Did they ever release a statement why she wasn't part of the going on the on?
Yeah, I think she wanted to exit the show, and so
I think it was the biggest mistake in her life because I've never seen her come out in anything else. In that show, when you talk about Star Trek,
especially the Next Generation,
you most people say Next Generation.
Next Gen is considered one of like the best classic sci-fi movie shows ever made. So
yeah. Okay, what is in your opinion, the worst death in history regarding movies?
Worse than Tasha Yar?
That's my worst, and you know what? You can't take that because I've told you that she was the worst death I've ever seen. Anything with Steven Seagal? You want to tell our audience what your favorite pastime is besides playing Call of Duty, or is that too personal?
I like watching videos when people make fun of Steven Seagal and his movies.
So funny.
It's fucking hilarious. Well, because it's easy. It's a low-hanging fruit. All of his movies are shit. Like, it's like produced poorly, and it's just like the quality.
Hey. We don't have money to get sued right now. Allegedly.
Well, fuck you, Steven Seagal.
Allegedly, all of his movies are shit, and allegedly,
in my opinion, his movie is shit. Like allegedly. All of them. And it's funny when like these critics like just go in and just rip his fucking movies apart.
And you know what's hilarious? Fucking funny? And this is usually like when we're ready to go to bed, right? And I'm like, I'm on my phone or whatever, and I hear Steven Seagal. And the thing is, it's not just one day, the next day. Steven Seagal. Or like we'll be on the couch
not
before
my fault. It's
Steven Seagal.
It's the YouTube algorithm.
And you click it. You are baited. You are baited.
It apparently fucking Google listens to me and it knows me. And it's probably listening to me right now. And it's later gonna suggest me more Steven Seagal shit. So, but yeah. Worst death ever. That's kind of hard. I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't know.
The Wire. So if you are,
oh yeah, speaking of The Wire, that is a terrible death. When freaking
Omar,
Stringer Bell died.
By Omar's hand.
And he just ran into an empty building and he got shot.
No, he got set up.
That is the most anticlimactic like death scene ever.
But it had to be done. It had to be done.
It could have been a better like death scene.
it had to be done. I think we all agree it had to be done by Omar, especially since Stringer tried
And then
playing
Omar
Omar
got killed
in
by a
Buffalo.
fucking kid in a
I
convenience
A
store.
lot of people in a lot of people on Reddit. I'm part of that subreddit on Reddit, The Wire, and a lot of people explain that the reason why Omar got killed by a kid was because all this shit, all this, a lot of noise that he was making, like, yeah, you can't fuck with me, like, you can't mess with me, like, I'm gonna come back and kill you, like, you know, all this loud noise that he was making. But at the end of the day, like, the greatest gangster, the greatest, above all, he got shot by a kid.
I guess that's kind of ironic then. I guess
He got shot by a kid.
yeah.
Stringer didn't kill him. Avon didn't kill him. Marlo didn't kill him. He didn't get shot down by the cops because he had a good rapport with some cops, and it had to be done by a kid because it had to be someone where he was basically a nobody,
Mm-hmm.
and he died getting a pack of cigarettes. But anyways, yeah, that Wire, favorite movie show. Um, what are some of your favorite shows? What's a list of your favorite shows? Top 5.
Top 5. Well, top is of all time is TNG, Star Trek: The Next Generation. For
Mm-hmm.
those that are not aware. Second,
Like I heard so much attitude.
uh, um, I'll say Futurama. That's another legendary show that I really enjoyed watching. Um, third, man, I want to say the X-Files for sure. Third is X-Files, yeah, and then fourth and fifth, I'm torn between Black Sails and what's the other one?
The Expanse.
Black Sails and Expanse.
They're two different genres, though. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I'll say the Expanse will be my fourth, and Black Sail will be my fifth. Yeah, it's really hard because it's such great shows. And
Okay.
the thing about shows though is like they're amazing, but when you think about I want to go back and rewatch them. It's like there's like 170 fucking episodes.
Black Sails and Expanse was they had how many? They had like what, 5, 6, 7, 8 seasons.
No, Star Trek had 7, Black Sail has 4, Expanse has 6.
But they had like 20 episodes per each season.
Yeah.
They're like not. I don't want to say they're binge worthy because it's not something that you would get through like over the weekend. Like it's something that you would have to continuously watch
Well, it
every
is
single
binge worthy. It's just that you can't binge at
binge it.
once.
Yeah. I would say for mine, different categories. So for animation, I would like to say Adventure Time. Um, so that's an animation. Oh, but you know what? I like a lot of animated shows.
Oh, you and your Studio Gilby shit. No,
Studio
those are movies though.
movies, though.
Yeah.
I'm talking about shows. Yeah, so Adventure Time for animation. Sci-fi, I want to say, is The Man in a High Castle considered sci-fi?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Man in a High Castle. Okay, so Man in a High Castle is number 1. Number 2 is Adventure Time. Number 3 would be Black Sails. Number 4 would be, oh god, I love The Wire. The Wire. Number 5th, um, what's a show that I watch a lot over and over and over again?
You watch a lot of things. You have it in the background, and you won't even be paying attention to it. That's the thing that she does that irritates me.
Oh my god.
Is that she would be like cooking or like cleaning or like doing homework, and she have like a show just playing off in the background. She won't even look at it or pay attention to it, and she would do other things. And yeah, so I was like, how do you watch a show and focus on it when you're not even focusing on it?
it's the cayenne.
She left the room for a second to get ginger fucking beer. Ginger ale. She came back and her breath smelled like fucking tuna.
I may had a bite or two with some tuna salad that I made.
It was supposed to be tuna salad for after the podcast.
I didn't eat lunch, and one of my things moving forward is to eat as much food as I can to continue my weight loss, and I needed to eat it.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, I know you guys. I kind of feel that our podcast was a little disorganized. It's kind of different when you say you're gonna do it a certain way, but I think that we definitely have to kind of.
It was like a last minute type of deal too.
It was last minute, just a lot of talking nonsense. But let us know if you guys want us to talk about a certain subject. It doesn't definitely mean it has to be an hour long podcast, but if you guys wanted to talk about, relationships, work, school, buying a house for the first time, anything you guys want, advice on, what we can do is we can have our viewers, the 3 viewers that we have on YouTube, or actually no, how many?
15 subscribers. Thank you.
I'm sorry. To our 15 beautiful subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to this YouTube channel.
Saying I got fans.
I got fans too, but I buy them from Amazon for like $5 each. No fan. Anyways, so
I gotta live with this.
What would you do without me, though?
Don't stab me.
Talking about stabbing, this man had a dream that he killed me.
And she got mad at me because I had a dream that I fucking stabbed her.
And you had a knife on your nightstand.
It was to stab freaking people trying to break in the house.
Anyways.
It's not there for you.
Okay, anyways.
You ever get that, like, your girlfriend fucking wakes up in the middle of the night because she had a dream that you cheated, or she has a dream that, like, you did something bad, and she gets mad at you?
Intuition. Anyways.
And she gets mad at you for the rest of the fucking day because of a dream?
Anyways, long story short, not long story short, but yeah, subscribers, just let us know what you guys want us to talk about. If you even want me to be on the podcast, or not even that. I'm gonna be on the podcast if I want to be, first of fucking all. Second of all, drop some questions down below if you guys need advice. I know Koi started this channel off with some how-to videos. I know he's trying to get back on it.
Yeah.
So if you guys have some questions, he's very he used to work for Geek Squad, so he has a lot of knowledge on how to set things up, cables, computers, computers, building your own computer. Maybe you can do a video on building your own computer and just kind of showing that.
So,
we can make a computer for the bedroom.
I do want a computer to build my computer.
After we get the
another
garden
computer.
Done. After we get the garden done.
It's gonna. Can I build my computer? It's gonna be a little bit of money.
You want to do that before we get the garden done, or after we get the garden done?
What's the right answer?
The right answer is after we get the garden done.
After we get the garden done.
Yes. So I think that would be a cool project. So if you guys are looking into, if you guys want him to make a video on how to build his own computer, he's done it before. We can build a computer for like our bedroom. That way, once we get our bed set stuff figured out, we can have like a computer that we can use in the bedroom. Or are you gonna do like a gaming? You already have a gaming computer though.
Well, I'm gonna move this one to the bedroom and build my own gaming computer, a better one.
Okay. Yeah, so he's gonna build a computer in the near future. So
we need to put a dash cam into our cars too.
We can probably talk about that.
Especially for your car.
You're
accident prone.
It wasn't me though. I got T-boned.
You got
T-boned. If it was my fault, the insurances would have said it was my fault.
Okay,
what was the letter that I got in the mail?
You got T-boned, okay. But we just need to have evidence just in case in the future, though. for anything else that happens. It's nice to have it on camera because therefore it backs up your story a little bit better.
But in my defense, I've asked you to put a dash cam in my car for a very long time now.
Well, I've been a very busy man.
Well, now
Trying to level up my guns.
So
on Call of Duty.
thanks for clarifying that. This outro, it's a long ass outro. Anyways, again, thank you guys for tuning in to our podcast. Let us know if you have any questions that you want us to answer for you guys, whether it's tech related or something that you want both of us to answer. We can definitely do that. Advice and what you want from Koi next for his next videos. He is working on uploading a video this week. I think it was a podcast that you did.
Oh, yeah.
So you're gonna be working on that over the weekend. So there's no we don't want to give out like a I know a lot of people say, oh, well, we're gonna release some videos every Monday, every Wednesday, every Thursday. We're not gonna do that because it's just 15 of you guys. I mean, you guys have better videos to watch.
I don't want to make the same mistake as Cyberpunk 2077 did.
Who's that?
Huh?
Who's that?
The video game. They released their game way too early, and it's a piece of shit.
I love that game.
But there was a shitload of glitches when it first released.
I mean, yeah, you're fucking.
But now it's better, of course. Yeah, the game's amazing. But when they first released it,
first of all, I love Cyberpunk. That is one of my favorite video games, and I stand by it. Don't start that shit right with me.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, when they first released it, it was not as polished as it should have been. So, but yeah, our videos takes longer to put out, but it's hopefully a bit better quality.
Yeah, better quality. Hopefully with more content, and yeah, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and drop a comment down below.
Do what she says. Deuces.
Deuces.